Hello YouTube, my name is Maria and this is my first YouTube video ever. A little bit about myself. So I am going to be starting PA school in the fall. End of August, and I'm really excited, and I'm kind of here to help any pre-PA students or confused health majors, pre-health professionals on kind of their journey. That was weird, a dust particle just went by. Okay, anyways, so today's video is kind of random. It's going to be about CASPA. If you don't know what CASPA is, it stands for Centralized Application Services for Physician Assistants. That's what it stands for. I had to think about it for a second. So basically what that means is that when you are applying to PA school, you need to submit all of your application materials onto this one gigantic server, and they basically make your life easier by sending them off to the PA schools that you're interested in. And now many, if not most, PA schools are on CASPA, but some do, some aren't, and that means some require a completely separate application that you would probably have to mail in or go through their website and deal with. But today I am going to talk about CASPA, so let's get started. So, a frequent question that I get and wish someone told me was, when should I start my CASPA? And the answer is now. It doesn't matter if you are a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, or senior in college, and there are many reasons why, and I'm going to be guiding you through CASPA and showing you why it's so important to start your CASPA right now. So I just Googled up CASPA and I made a fake account for you guys. And I'm going to kind of walk you through CASPA, answer questions that I wish I had answered or, wish I had known before. But yeah, let us get started here. So I'm going to sign in. So this is a fake account that I made. All right. Okay. I'm going to go through everything one by one, right? So first and foremost, let's look at my latest notifications, right? So this application cycle, it's closing soon. So let's take a look at that. So when is it closing? It is closing March 1st, and this is a typo, March 1st of 2019. And when is it going to reopen? Back in April 25th of 2019. And I'm going to explain why it's very important to know about when the cycle opens and when the cycle closes. Okay, right, so we're gonna go tab by tab. We're gonna look at add program, right? All right, so you can put in the name of the school. Let's say, you're kind of late in the cycle and you want to apply to one school that seems to be open. Start term, let's say you want to apply this year, right? Let's say you just want to apply this year. Right, so I picked out two schools, Clarkston University and Alderson University, but I'm from Michigan, so let's take a Michigan school, right? I want to pay in-state tuition, not out-of-state tuition. Oh, looks like Concordia's deadline is late this year, and it's starting in fall of 2019. Okay? All right. So I'm going to go back to my application. So you're going to fill out all of this personal information. It takes some time. It doesn't take crazy amounts of time, but you want to perfect it, you want to make it nice, fill out your bio, your contact, your race, your ethnicity, environmental factors, those are all important. And a lot of PA schools, I believe there are PA schools that are very holistic, so if you had a financial difficulty or an illness or something that had come up, these are things that you can put in over here. Let's look at academic history. Now, academic history actually took me a ton of time, and this cycles over. That's what I wanted to say. This this gets recycled over into other cycles. So let's say you start in 2019, but you actually want to apply the 2020 cycle. You can start now, right? So putting in your high school attended, your college's attended, your transcript entry, all of this takes a ton of time because you're putting your freshman through whatever year in junior, senior year grades in, and also at the same time you have to put in all the colleges that you went to. Every single grade needs to be up there. And it has to be accurate. There is a service that doesn't expedite it, but it helps you put in all of your information. You basically, upload your transcript, and then there's some service that accurately puts in all of that information for you, and it takes a day or two for them to, or I don't know, a week for them to finish all of that after you submitted your application. The next thing is your supporting information. I'm going to go over three things that I think are one of the most important things. Okay, let's start with our evaluations. Okay, the first thing I want you to know is that your evaluation does not cycle over. Okay, so if you want to apply in 2020 and you upload, or your evaluator uploads a letter of rec in 2019, it will not cycle over to 2020. It will get deleted. All right, so be very wary of that. Now, how you can kind of minimize or fix that problem or still prepare for that is that you can tell your evaluator or the person who writes your letter of rec, tell them, hey, do you mind writing my letter of rec and then saving it and then submitting it when I send you the link to submit it. So basically you would fill out all this information, and then you'd save this evaluation request, and then CASPA will send a link for them to upload that letter of rec. So again, be wary of that. Your letters of rec do not cycle over. And another thing I want you to know is that I think there's this one website where someone can upload all their letters of rec, and then you can go back to them anytime and pull them out. That doesn't work here. Right? It does not work here, unfortunately. The letters of rec need to be uploaded by the writer themselves. I forgot what it was called. I think it was called Portfolio or Folio.com, something similar to that. I don't know. The next thing that I think is super important is your hours. Okay. Now, look at your pay stubs to get the most accurate hours possible. Now, a lot of people ask me, how do PA schools verify your hours? Well, many of them actually go by an honor system, or honor code. So what I mean by that is that they trust you. They trust that you will put in accurate and truthful information about how much you've worked. So let's say my pay stub says that I worked, 1,000 hours in a year. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to put in, this is what my pay stub tells me, so I want to be accurate. I'm going to put in, okay, I worked approximately 20 hours part-time, or 20 hours a week, and there's 52 weeks in a year, so I'm going to put down 50, right? So there comes 1,000, right? So just be wary of that. And over here it says type of rec, compensated, academic credit, volunteer. You can fill out that information. Another thing is that if you lie and it sounds absolutely ridiculous, the school can contact that company or that organization and ask them, hey, did Bob, really work? Did they work a bajillion, trillion hours while they were in school and they saved the world? So just don't be silly. Just fill out that information truthfully as possible. The last thing that I think is one of the most important things is your essay. So why do I think this is so important? This is for those who struggle with writing. I struggled with my writing. I had to be in the writing center every month, perfecting my personal statement. And the question is so vague. The question was, why do you want to be a PA? That takes a lot of thoughtful thinking to put into a page and a half, or a page and a half to 2 pages, into 5,000 characters. Okay, characters. Another mistake that I made is that I thought this said 5,000 words. I just assumed that this was 5,000 words. No, a character is a letter. It is one letter, 1 out of 5,000. Okay, so you can imagine 5,000 words and how much I had to cut down and how much pain that was while I was in school. Another thing, just like your evaluations, is that your essay does not get cycled over. So what I recommend is saving it on a Word document, and then if you want to, apply in the year of 2020 or 2023 or 2030 or whatever it may be, you have it saved on a document and you can copy and paste it. Oh, another thing is that if you are a poetic person and you like using italics or cool fonts or anything like that, it doesn't work. None of that is there. Okay, you can't use italics. You can't do anything like that. There's nothing special or crazy about it. So, unfortunately, you want to make your essay, grab the reader's attention, but there's no italicizing or any crazy fonts that you can use. Just don't know what font this is, but this is the only font you can use. Let's go on to the next one. Let's go to program materials. All right. If you were a freshman or a sophomore, or you're applying to PA school in 6, 7 years or 4 years or whatever, this is an amazing tool. So let's say you're interested in all 3 of these schools. You added the program. These are the schools that you are interested in. They give you a little bio about the school, right? You find out that this is a class size of 32. You find out that it's in Ann Arbor and that it starts, in the fall, right? You find out that it's a developing program. And there are other things. They link you to their website so you can learn more about their program, any unique features they have. Maybe they have a really cool dissection class. Maybe they have, really brand new technology. So they link you to that and you can find out information about that. Another thing that many schools put up is prerequisites that you need for their school. So you can either find out the prerequisites generally through the school's homepage, or you can find out, if they put this tab up here, you can find out what prerequisites you need to apply to their school. Now, why do I think this is so important? Well, let me tell you something, my friends. After I graduated, I still needed to take 3 classes because I was missing certain prerequisites. I was missing Intro to Psych, even though I had taken developmental. My AP Psych that I took, they did not take AP credit for. I had to take Advanced Physiology for one of my top schools, and I had to take Physio Lab for some of the schools. So after I graduated, trudging through all of that work, my life in school was not over. I had to take 3 more classes, unfortunately. And this is great if you are a freshman, sophomore, even a junior, figuring this out right now. Okay, excuse me. All right, so the next tab says questions. Now, this is also important because this might be a supplemental application. What is a supplemental application? A supplemental application is a secondary application that I feel like a lot of schools require. A supplemental application can either be just these questions and cost no additional further money, or it does require money. So I think the supplementals that I've submitted, each supplemental was ranging from $25 to $100. So adding on to your bill over here of an extra $50, your supplemental might cost you another $50. Now, what do these supplementals consist of? Let's just assume that this is the supplemental, okay? It's just some of them are just very basic questions. Are you a graduate of this school? Do you have a felony? Did you go through all of our, what is it called, information? Did you finish our prerequisite classes? Some of that is like that. Sometimes some of this supplemental application includes another essay that you need to write. So again, that is another time commitment and thing that you have to be weary about. And it's great to start when? It's great to start now, to start looking at that and looking at how much money you might need to spend on the CASPA application. All right, let's see. I think I went through everything. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, let me show you. I think I already went through this, but I guess I'll go through this again. Okay, let's say you're all done. Your supplemental is put in, everything is all done. This, and you can only submit this when this is a check, when this is completely done. Right? Let's say it's done, right? You paid it. Let's go to check status, right? You submitted it. All right. Now, just because you submitted an application does not mean the school received it immediately. Now, a huge thing is that, this is a mistake that I almost made, is that I assumed that, when you submit the application, the school receives it and you're done. No. CASPA needs to, I believe, process your application, and that can take any day from a day to 3 to 4 weeks to process it. And then after they're done processing this application, right, then the school receives it. Okay, so just because, the deadline for some of these schools says 3/1 doesn't mean you should be submitting this on March 1st of 2019. It means that you should be submitting this maybe in January or February. Latest February, right? Because it takes time. All right, guys, I think I went over everything, but sorry if I'm losing my voice. I recorded this 5 times and it didn't save, and I don't know why, and I'm really hoping this saves. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to put it down in the comments, and it was great sharing these tips with you. All right, guys, that is basically it. I was just kind of guiding you through CASPA. And again, start. It doesn't matter when you start. Just be very mindful that, turning in your application takes time. And it's always best to start early just to explore and see different things. And if you have any questions at all, comment below. And yeah, I think we're all done for today. And, feel free to subscribe. I'm hoping I could post more videos, but, I guess we'll just have to see what the year tells us. Have a wonderful day or a wonderful night.